I'm very excited to have some interviews here today at the DMEXCO, standing outside of Hall 8. We've got some great interviews coming up and put together a nice little collage for you from some great voices from the show. You are in Hall 6 and we're standing outside Hall 6 at the moment.
Correct.
I think that's the best hall so far this year.
Nice.
I'm sure you would agree.
I guess we were lucky. This is what I hear. I didn't make it out of Hall 6 yet.
Right, okay.
I've been too busy with all these conversations. But this is what I hear, that Hall 6 is the most humming hall
the most vibrant one.
The most vibrant one, okay.
Yeah, great. You've been at Contentful for nearly 10 years, which is really impressive. So you've seen the whole ride, and you're Director of Partnerships for EMEA and
Asia
as well. So it's been quite a wild ride, right? So it's grown from, I believe, 70 employees now up to how many?
We're now over 800. And,
800.
And yes, it has been a very interesting ride, right? From being a startup that wasn't even sure if we're going to make it, to a scale-up and global company with multiple offices worldwide, over 4,000 enterprise customers, and still growing. So yeah, it's been a super exciting journey, and I'm happy I'm still there, and there's always something new to do, and more services and offerings we can offer to our customers.
Great. So obviously 4,000 enterprise clients, that's really impressive. What would you say that they engage with as customers? So why do they buy into Contentful? What's the secret sauce that they're all trying to get their hands on?
Yeah, so Contentful has developed a lot over the years, from a headless CMS initially to a modern digital experience platform. So nowadays we have our content platform that customers still engage most with today to build websites and scalable experiences across channels, markets, and use cases. And then we also offer personalization, and with AI now being so advanced, it becomes really possible, right? Because we can create multiple variants of content and really personalized experiences for different user groups, markets, etc. So they do engage with our core platform, the content platform, as well as personalization, and we see the first use cases in AI as well.
Yeah, exciting stuff. And you gave a talk actually earlier today, right? So tell us a bit about what you covered in that talk.
Yeah, sure. So this talk was together with our partner Montag and our two customers, BMG and Scott Sports. BMG are in music rights management.
BMG, pretty big label, right?
Exactly, yeah. And Scott Sports is a sports company selling skis and bikes, like basically sports equipment. So two very different companies in different spaces.
I think my dad used to ski with a pair of Scott skis.
Super
I wouldn't
cool.
be surprised.
Yeah, super cool. And they both, on the one hand, wanted to improve their operational efficiency internally and create more flexibility for their marketing teams to build these digital experiences independently from developers.
Yeah.
And at the same time, this was especially for Scott Sports, they wanted to increase brand awareness and just create better content for their audience and kind of connect brand content and product content for the B2B as well as D2C experience.
Oh, wow.
So two very exciting
B2B
projects.
And
D2C, exactly.
Wow,
so they want to go direct to their consumers and build an online shopping experience.
Yeah.
And so we talked about these cases and the lessons learned, and very interesting cases.
Amazing stuff. I can imagine that the engagement on the B2B side for the digital experience, was that quite different from the direct consumer?
So you would think so, right? Because you think B2B has this reputation of being a bit more boring and you don't need all these exciting digital experiences. But in the end, it is the same buyer, like you and I, who buy consumer products, might work at a company. I'm doing B2B, right? So I'm not personally, but organization, the same buyer, right, would also go to a B2B sales process. So in the end, the consumers, they are really used to these very engaging digital experiences and having the same customer journey on all these channels that are available. And so they're expecting the same as a B2B buyer. This means that the B2B experiences need to be as sophisticated and engaging as B2C or D2C experiences.
Andrea, thank you very much for joining Future Fuzz Digital Marketing Podcast
Thank
today.
you for inviting me.
Great to see you here at DMEXCO.
Yes, same.
And how are you finding the show so far?
It's good. It's always good. It has been getting better year by year now for the past, let's say, 5 years after COVID. And it's nice to see the industry coming together, exchanging ideas, thoughts, having good discussions, honest discussions, because currently it's a very sensitive time, I would say.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So, did you come to DMEXCO before COVID? Did you experience the show then?
I did, yes.
And what's the difference that you see now?
Well, I think before COVID it was a little bit declining, the interest in it, because it was the OMR, the Recon, like the different shows coming up.
Yeah.
And DMEXCO lost a little bit of its vibe.
Yeah.
But I think the past years it kind of got it back, and it's a very good place to be.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like maybe the quality is improved and the size maybe shrunk a little bit, but that's okay.
That's okay. I think putting a price tag on the ticket helps for the people to come here really being interested.
Yeah, make it serious.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell us about Ogury. So what are you looking to achieve by coming to DMEXCO here? Who are you looking to talk to?
So I think it's the second year for Ogury to actually have a booth here, because we see that interest, especially in the topic of privacy, which is kind of Ogury's mission, to serve user-friendly and data-clean advertising.
Yeah.
And I think as we have the clients coming, having good discussions, talking to also partners and also competitors to understand the market, the movement, etc.
Yeah.
So this is what the DMEXCO is about. So
Right.
really understanding the shifts in the market, also geopolitically, what the impact has on a more European level. So it's good to get different sides to understand what's going on.
Fantastic. And you work with some pretty big clients, including Ford, for example.
Yes.
So what's important for companies like that at this time with regards to data and privacy and communicating with their customers?
I think it's something that every client is looking into, some more, some less.
Yeah.
When you are in the finance industry, it's more important than, for instance, for like the automotive industry. But as cookies and IDs are declining,
Yeah.
you need to find solutions to address the user and to find your right audience, to not lose, get lost in space or in the World Wide Web.
The cookieless world seems to be evolving. We're talking about it a lot. It's been going on for a long time. Do you think the cookie will ever disappear and ever go away? Do you think that consumers will choose and lead the way?
I think customers getting more and more educated, because it's so present. Years ago, it was just kind of in the industry where we worked in marketing and with clients that it was a topic, and I think a lot of people also got tired of it. So it's like, the cookies are disappearing, but never disappeared. But we see, even though they are not disappearing completely, but as of now, I think more than 60% of the users, you don't know them anymore because you don't have any identifier.
Is it really 60% of users?
Yes.
Okay. And then Ogury is operating more as a platform or a service or a combination?
No, Ogury is an ad tech supplier, so we have our own tech stack where we have a very unique approach of identifying, let's say, users, or not the user, but certain personas. So to really cluster them into, let's say, the lifestyle, the car enthusiast, the city dweller, to really understand about affinities, not just social demographics, but also affinities and interests. And we do this by having a survey running, like an ongoing campaign through our network.
Oh, fantastic.
To really better understand on the placement level, not so much on the user itself, but on the placement itself. Who do we see? Because it's scalable, because it's not just relying on contextual or semantic.
Yeah.
So we can broaden the approach, and our surveys are kind of the core, the heart of our product.
So how many surveys are you running at any one time?
It's an ongoing campaign, and it's we have 1.5 billion data points and more. So it really is ongoing, because as we know, the past years has changed the interest in consumers. One day they have been outgoing traveling, then COVID hit, everyone was cocooning, being home, rearranging their apartment, and now with the geopolitical situation, people are, interested in politics, but also what's going on the stock market. So it's like interest is changing. So it's not as, let's say, stable as it used to be.
Yeah.
It's more fragile, more fluid.
Darren, what brings you to DMEXCO this year?
So what brings me over to Cologne is definitely the retail media element to DMEXCO. ZItcha is a retail media platform that helps retailers build their retail media networks. We've come over to speak to all the retailers, the potential partners within the ecosystem, to really understand more about what's going on in Europe. We're based in, we're an Australian company, but I'm based in London. So to be able to get over here and actually be deep within sort of a lot of different retailers from lots of different markets is such a big opportunity for us.
Brilliant stuff. I would definitely say over the last couple of years there's been an explosion of retail media presence at DMEXCO. Would you agree on that?
Oh, 100%. Even year on year, I'd say it's been a massive growth in it. I actually used to come here in different roles over the past 10 years. DMEXCO has shrunk as a conference.
Right.
But what I think that has done is actually bring a bit more focus and a bit more, I'm not going to say seriousness, but a bit more business-like meetings that are happening. And it's great. I mean, you know, you go into this hall, you've got Media Market Saturn, you've got Douglas, you've got dunnhumby, you've got Kaufland's, Schwartz Media, and then you've got things like Scala and lots of different people within the retail media ecosystem, but from lots of different markets.
Right.
So for us, it's great because first of all, we can understand and learn about what's going on in Europe.
Yeah.
And we get to talk to them firsthand as well and have that 15, 20, 30-minute conversation over a coffee or a Kolsch later on.
Great stuff. And let's look at MediaMarkt, for example. So if you'd have gone back 5 years, you wouldn't have seen MediaMarkt here at the event with a setup, would you?
No, definitely not. I mean, you know, from memory, and actually last year was the first time I've been back since COVID. But before it was very much the big global ad tech players. Whilst there are still a few here, I think Google is still here, Trade Desk, and a few others. But from what I've seen, Meta aren't here. TikTok have got a small presence, so it's definitely more focused on the European scene versus that big global American ad tech play.
Yeah, and I definitely would agree that it's shrunk a bit, but it still feels like the quality is there.
Oh, 100%.
Right? And people are coming back again and again and again.
Yeah, I mean, we're a great example. You know, last year there was a good retail media presence. This year's even bigger. We haven't bitten the bullet and got a stand yet, but maybe next year will be the time that we do that.
Megan, tell us about this amazing new partnership that you've recently got.
We have a new partnership with One Rebel, which is a boutique gym chain in London. So very high density of high income individuals that prioritize their mental health and fitness. So it's a great acquisition for us.
And you've got a unique proposition, right, within the company. It's really focused on health and fitness, and you're in these gym locations. What kind of advertisers are really using digital out of home, focusing on it in that space?
We work a lot with supermarkets because it's sort of like a natural environment for them to be in. When you work out, you're thinking about what you're going to have for dinner. So this is a nice sort of route that you can have after working out, after being in a gym. Then we also work a lot with advertisers in the travel space. So it would be all of the main airlines, but also travel agencies and cruises.
And you mentioned cruises, right? Yeah. So that's an interesting one. So, because I would typically think gym advertising, healthcare advertising is Gen Z, right? That's typically, you said Gen Z is spending a lot of time in the gym. But cruises doesn't really fit with that in my mind. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think maybe a lot of younger people just behave differerly to what we would expect them to do because we behave differently. So they're really prioritizing their mental health and their wellness and their well-being. So they've spent their money in different pockets of the industry than we would have maybe at the time.
Right, yeah. Because I know when I was young, I think I was spending most of my time down the pub. Right? Yeah. But that's changed now. I spend a lot of my time in the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm just very curious about the hardware aspect. So go into a gym space.
Yeah.
What sort of screens, out of home screens, would I be seeing?
You would predominantly see D6 screens. So they'll be located in high dwell time areas, like right by the entrance, then ceiling mounted and double-sided, so you can see them from any point within the gyms, and then also in the weightlifting areas or in the cardio areas.
Okay, wow. So like a good spread throughout the gym. What data do advertisers ask for? I mean, then what sort of data points are they asking for?
So we use our first-party data that we get from the gyms, meaning that when you go to the gym and you swipe your membership card or you tap in your membership code, we know exactly that you're there, and then we can target that audience that's there at that given moment in time.